Hey, what's up everybody? I wanted to make a video today, kind of just trying to just talk through how I play a lot of turn 1 and turns 2, highlighting some specific units. So in this video, I want to highlight the Razorback / Interceptor combo, which I think is my favorite in the entire book. And I really do want to show you guys how I like to utilize it on turn 1s and turn 2s, depending on if I'm going first or second. In this video, I'm going to be showcasing more of when my opponent goes first and puts a little bit of pressure on primary and how I utilize these units to sort of take care of it. And on top of that, I'm going to sort of talk through my thought process on like what I pick up, what units I want to target here, and sort of how I want the tempo of the game to be. So the scenario I have on the board is a Space Wolf player. He went first. And he kind of staged his stuff pretty aggressively. He's contesting this point, he's contesting this point, and he staged to really go after my expansion pretty hard next turn. So this is how the board is going to look right before I decide like what 3 units that I want to pick up. So what I'm looking at here is I'm going second, so I'm already at a pretty good advantage playing Grey Knights. Okay, so that means that what I'm trying to do here is put him on a 5 on primary, aka just his home. And I'm not really going to invest much more than that, because what we get to do by playing the Razorback / Interceptors is we're allowed to essentially get free trades here and force him to have to interact with these transports before he gets to go into these guys. And in order to interact with the transport, he has to expose stuff, which the NDKs get to go after. In this video, I'm playing Warpbane. Unfortunately, it's probably still the best, but you can do what I'm doing here in every detachment. I just think it's probably the most efficient in Warpbane, just because of the rerolls, etc. So I'm going to walk you through my turn 1, and we'll go from there. So this is a Subductor unit, by the way. They're I didn't load them in, but they're Subductors. They're just screening, basically. Okay, so inside of this Razorback, I have 5 Purifiers. Inside of this one, I have 10 Interceptors, and inside of this one, I have 5 Interceptors in both. Okay, so for those of you guys don't know, that this unit gets to basically move 15 inches out of this thing because it gets a 3-inch disembark plus a 12-inch move, and it has a 6-inch fire and fade. So that allows us to be really flexible with how we want to have this unit contest the primary. So we know that no matter what, our opponent is going to be on a 5. Like whether we throw away the Interceptors or not, our opponent is getting put on a 5, and we get to kind of move on from there because we have both of these deployed and staged in a way to where they are always going to be able to go interact with these points. Okay, so the next thing that is kind of on our radar here is we have a Thunderwolf Cavalry unit that is notably in Dread Knight kill range. And over here, we have been given a 9-inch drop bubble over on this side of the table. Now, I don't like to really go for these types of aggressive plays turn 1, because what's going to happen is you're going to drop an NDK here. It might kill all of these, and then you're going to die pretty much for free. And now we're losing a Dread Knight for basically Thunderwolf Cavalry. What our goal for Dread Knights is to get them to shoot like 2 or 3 times each without dying, and then after you've kind of achieved that, then you can start using them as more trade pieces. So I pretty much am going to always pick up this Dread Knight, and this Dread Knight. Now, for whatever, depending on your secondaries, you can pick up some other stuff, but we have this deployed for sabotage. We have everything else deployed to do everything else. So I'm going to pick up these 3. They're going to go to reserve with this stuff, okay? Now, going into our turn, this becomes sticky, sure. And now what we're going to do, we're going to look at, okay, so how can I have this unit inside of this Razorback deal with this Combi Lieutenant without dying? And there's a lot of different ways to do this, and I'm going to show you my favorite way to do it, with specifically the Razorback Interceptor Combo. So, how it works, the Razorback gets to go 12, because he's very cool. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to make sure that it is 9 inches away from the Combi Lieutenant, okay? Now, what we get to do now is, after it moved, we disembark the Interceptors. And it's very notable here that after we move it, okay? You cannot just fly these Interceptors up here and then move the Razorback behind. It's very important you do it in this sequence, because of how Warhammer 40k works, this guy does not get a reactive move due to the fact that we disembarked from a vehicle that already moved. So that's also another very important reason that this Razorback ends outside of 9 of this guy, because we're not going to trigger his reactive. Okay. And then also notably, we are now taking control over the center, because getting out 3 inches is going to allow us to put 3 OC to his 1. Okay. So that is 1 for Warpbane. All right. Next, what I do is I look at the profile of the target that is on this objective. And this is going to tell me on if I need to really commit the Razorback or not to go over this way. So he has a 1 OC Fenrisian Wolf with like a 6-up armor save or something like that. So I'm very confident that my Interceptor unit that's full rerolling to hit is going to be able to take care of this unit. And our opponent ends up either having to keep a Wolf here or pull it off. Okay, so what I'll do is this time the unit is actually just going to get out its 15. So I'm on like the wrong side of the table with all my stuff. But okay, so they're going to get out 15. So they get out here. Then they go 12. Now, notably, this is a scenario where you're going to have to react to how your shooting does before we really do anything to commit with this unit. Because what we're going to do now is this Razorback is going to scoot up. So it's going to go at 7. Boom. Okay, so now this Razorback is going to catch line of sight on the Wolves, so it's going to be able to support our Interceptors. And we are making sure our Interceptors are within 9 of this, because if they are successful in blowing up these Wolves, they're going to get to fire and fade back into the Razorback, giving us a very free trade. Now over here, this unit we would love to kill, but we are not going to get anybody out of this transport, so we can have like a dual unit. So if this gets blown up, they get to fall onto the point, etc., etc. So what I'll do here is this Razorback, once again, it's not toggle to move, is going to go here, 6, boom. All right, so now we're on the point. And then for those of you counting at home, that means that we control 1, 2 for Warpbane. So that means that during our shooting phase, we are going to be full rolling to hit in our deployment zone and out here. So then the next thing I will do is we'll stage up these guys. And that will be our movement phase. So what we've accomplished here in our movement phase is, number 1, we're guaranteeing that our opponent is on a 5. Okay. And we are very likely going to destroy this unit. And in my experience, it's very likely that we kill this unit. However, in this specific list, this guy has a 4 Feel No Pain. I'm playing like Saga of the Hunter, whatever. I think it's pretty cool. But if you want to make him, really any of them are really good to deal with. The hardest one to deal with is the Angelic Inheritor one, where you usually end up having to lose your Interceptor unit or something. But okay, cool. So what we're looking at now is, how much do we want to commit to kill this unit? And if we do commit to killing it, what is going to be able to crack us back? All right, so what I'll do now is I'll bring in Dread Knight. He'll just go right here. All right, so he's got line of sight here. I want to make sure he's in melter range. Or this could be your, I'm playing 1 normal Dread Knight. This could be like your Silencer one or whatever. But if I put him here, next turn, he's going to be able to get shot by this Predator Annihilator and just the 1 Predator Annihilator. We really don't want this unit to like be alive here, but we have to ask ourselves, is it worth committing 2 Dread Knights to shoot this? And I think that answer is basically no in this scenario. So I'll drop 1 Dread Knight here. I'll bring back the other one just to finish screening. They'll be here, sure. They'll just finish screening because we don't need him yet in the game. Don't be afraid, guys, to just like use your NDKs to screen if they're not going to be part of the game. Like, we don't always have to use them to go blow stuff up, okay? So this is kind of where I am at currently. We would have achieved every secondary possible on this turn, and we are likely going to kill everything that we're looking at here. I think this actually maybe could have like caught line of sight here, so we're going to do that as well. All right, so I'm just going to roll through the shooting phase, and we are going to, this is my first take on this, and I'm going to show you guys organically what's going to happen if we did this, okay? So first thing we're going to do, we're going to shoot our Grandmaster NDK at the Thunderwolf Cavalry. I should be within 18, which I am. Okay, I'm 0.1 away, sure. Okay, so within 18, boom. So he's got the side cannon and the Melta. I'll probably just go with the Melta first because we can just pop 1. So here we go, hitting on 3s, full rerolls. 3s full rerolls, and then the Thunderbolt Cavalry get 4-ups. He makes both. Then I have 6 side cannon hitting on 3s, full rerolls, wounding on. I think they're T6, I think so. 3 go through, and he fails 1, so he's down to 1 wound. That was not a great shooting activation for us. And here, likely this thing is going to die, so I'm okay with shooting everything there. So we are going to shoot the Stormbolter first, rerolling everything, and then wounds with 2, and we kill the 1. Very cool. All right, and then we've got the last cannon, which is twin links. So here's the last cannon, hits, it does wound, and he passes the save. And then we have the Hunter Killer, which hits, it does wound, and he passes the save again. So they went really good on their saves there, but we're honestly we're okay with it, because what is this unit realistically going to do? Like, it's going to come up here like this, and this could maybe kill this. But then again, we have the guys inside who are going to be safe from shooting, etc., etc. All right, moving on. The Razorback's going to shoot here first. So we'll shoot the 4 Stormbolters. And again, this is likely going to die, but I'm not going to use a Hunter Killer because we have a lot of other stuff that's going here. Oh, also, guys, notably, make sure these guys have a second target with their Stormbolters, just in case like you accidentally kill it with the Razorback. All right, so there's a Stormbolter. Reroll everything. Wounding on 4s. Cool, and then he's going to fail 1. And then he's got a 4 of Field of Pain, so he takes 1. Then I've got the last cannon, hits on a 4. Rerolling, hits. And we're looking for a 2. So 2, that's going to put him on a 6-up save. He fails, and he takes 5 damage. Let's see if he dies. He takes Field of Pain, so he takes 4, so he's dead. Nice job. So we got him. And then now this unit gets to... We get to catch line of sight here, but whatever, we're just going to shoot there. It doesn't matter. Now we get to fire and fade back into the Razorback. The reason we do this is because, like, them standing there is not going to survive anyway. So it's better just to save your resources and make them have to deal with the Razorback. And notably, it's set up to where you can fall out right here, so other stuff down this line can't shoot you. All right, next one, the Razorback here into this. We're going to say he didn't get seen here. So we'll shoot the Stormbolter last cannon there. So we got 2 Stormbolter shots. Hitting on, also it's notable, and outside of 9 of the doggies, also, they have a reactive move, but okay. We still get to do the same exact thing with like a fire and fade onto the point, but yeah, they do have a reactive as well. All right, so I hit with 2 rerolls, wound with 2, and then he's going to have a 6-up, so 2 die. Now our opponent is going to make us have to kill the rest, so he's going to go here like this. And then now these guys are going to shoot at AP 1 because the Razorback shot. So what we're going to do now, we got 3 shots. Boom. Hit with 2. This is the side cannon, wounds with 2. This is AP 2. We're going to say that he left 1 for cover, so we kill 2. And now we have our Stormbolters, which should clean up the unit pretty easily. It's 16 of them, hitting on 3s. I didn't full reroll, but it's okay. Then they're all dead. Okay, so now we have a couple options where we can either fire and fade onto the point or fire and fade back into the Razorback. 9 times out of 10, you're going to want to go back into the Razorback, and that is kind of a turn 1 that we're actually very happy with. So this probably should have killed 2, right? A little disappointing there, but like frankly, we're not really going to lose much for this because next turn, this unit gets to do what? It has to go either here or here, essentially, right? And these guys are not going to kill like a 5-man Purifier unit. There's no way for this to really get blown up. So we might lose some primary, but when you're going second with Grey Knights, if you are tying secondary or tying primary the whole game, you generally are going to always win as long as you're not throwing away a bunch of your stuff. Now, if we wanted to be super aggressive, like sure, you could have put 2 Dread Knights here, but that just gives them like more value potentially out of this guy. But yeah, and then also this guy is set up to go here, etc., etc. So that is sort of like how I would always pretty much play my my first turn, using the Razorbacks to really be like good tools for this, because in this matchup, right, his options to like kill this Razorback are a little bit limited outside of the melee, like the fight phase, right, to these things. And what's going to happen is the longer you can play the game with the 3 Razorbacks, the better position that you're in. Like if you can make it to like turn 2/3 like contesting primary with just Razorbacks, you're gonna like nearly always win that game, because now what happens is like our opponent ends his turn like likely like this, right? So let's just say like, I mean, they would never go kill a Dread Knight. We'll go here. Maybe this comes out so he can like shoot this NDK. This can't ever see me, I don't think. Nope. And then now like what is he gonna go put here? So like his next options are to like go all in with his guys in the Impulsor, which is like realistically would kill this. But it's like, it's okay if these get blown up. These are your pieces that force your opponent to come out and play the game. Sorry if I'm rambling, but I'm just like explaining my thought process exactly on like how I do certain things when I play. And I hope like this video sort of made sense on like how I approach my turn 1 with Grey Knights. And yeah, thank you for watching. I will be back probably for another video even today, frankly. But yeah, thank you.